I would go with that. Now, if I had to see at the table as a person, a player in this league, it would be like Sha'Claren. Like, if I had to give it make it into a person, it would be her. Because I mean, sis stays going. Sis is going. I mean, take that back. I may have. No, I don't think I'm using the right pronouns, so please excuse me if I'm not. But yes. So love to see it. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna go with Solange with Seattle Storm.
I actually changed mine to that too because I like this so much better.
Yeah. Well, what album would you give her though? Which album would you give her though?
So can I be honest?
Okay.
I have not listened to When I Get Home. I have added it to my Spotify and I still have not listened to it. So I can't say. I don't feel like it has a seat at the table vibes, or Seattle does. I do feel like when I will be like Solange as a career. But yeah, I have to listen. I think most of the time this happens a lot with music is if everybody's talking about it at once, I feel like their opinions will cloud my opinion. So I usually wait. And then there's so much new music. So
I mean, because to me it's gonna come down to I think I like, because she's only had like 4 albums. So now that I've kind of looked at the list and I remember kind of like recalling, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and do Soul Angel and the Hadley Street Dreams. That's probably the album that I would give it to them because of they still have that youthfulness about them. They are going to give you hits. They're going to give you wins. The album gives you hits. You can listen to it on repeat. It's one of those albums you can definitely listen to on repeat. So, I mean, to this day, this is one of my favorite albums of all time. Plus, I feel like that's an underrated album. I think it's a classic. There was a part of her too that when you kind of look at the background behind the actual album too, she had been kind of going through a lot of stuff to get to the album. And it was heavily influenced by the Supremes, right? Classic R&B group. And I thought in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, there's this classic nostalgia about the Seattle Storm. I mean, even if you go back to Lauren Jackson days, there's that's been consistent, right? And I'll be honest, that they're one of those teams I really like their management. I really like their management. So I think there's a lot of great combinations involved in the comparison of the album and the team.
Yeah, I like this. Also, I've never heard that album either. Like, even because I didn't really start getting into music and or I'd say I've always had interest in music, but like the wide catalogs until streaming. Okay. So like now I'm like, oh, because I mean, yeah, it's just weird to me. Like I've never been able to get into that much music until streaming made it like accessible. Okay. But I feel like that's perfect because, like you're saying, they go way back before streaming, before the internet. Well, not before the internet, but because our leagues are young. But yeah, I like this. Yes, this is a collaboration. Okay, Chicago Sky. I got 2. I'm saving my 3 favorites for later. One's gonna be a surprise. Okay, but I'm saving the 3 favorites for later. So Chicago Sky, Jamila Woods. So the title, Very Black, but is that the name of the album? Because now I'm starting to second guess. Heaven. The name of the song is Heaven. Okay, Jamila Woods' album Heaven. Because I'm like, Very Black. That's not right. Jamila Woods' Heaven, because that album. Well, of course she's from Chicago and she talks about Chicago a lot in the album, but also like, I mean, you can tell. I just think they're good. I really enjoyed watching them last year, and I think they will be enjoyable to watch even this year. Like they're the one team where, because I've never had like, unfortunately, I've never had like a home team. So like last year I was just like, oh my gosh, you're doing so great. You're doing so great. So that, because it's like, I don't know, I think they're just, I wouldn't say she really said independently, but like they're kind of like still on the come up, and I feel like she is as well. So that's why I really like this, and of course Chicago. But like her second album is really good too. But to me, that's like Chicago, her blowing up. She had it on SoundCloud first, and then she moved it. Like, man, yeah, it's just, I feel my skin is getting clear. Diamond the Shoes is amazing. Like, it's, yeah, I think that I love them.
I love this. This one is the perfect. This one is the perfect fit. Out of all of them that I've heard, this one right here, because, like you said, I mean, the come up for her. Everybody wants to see her win. Everybody wants to see Jay Woods win. Like, she is, you know, I love too the fact that when she, now keep in mind, a lot of people may not know this. If you're not familiar with her, obviously, like you said, she's from Chicago, but that album, her debut album, Heaven, she featured a lot of Chicago artists on the album too. In particular, Chance the Rapper, No Name, Donnie Trumpet was on that joint, Zaba. Like, it was one of those albums for sure that you could put on repeat. I loved that album as well. I love this one. This one's perfect because this one definitely fits. This one definitely fits the team. I think even I'm not gonna lie, Shea Butter Baby would have also hit with them too. I personally think. Now that I think about it, I feel like, but then again, I feel like Shea Butter Baby may be like one of those universal albums too.
You're like, Shea Butter Baby fits here in Atlanta.
I am not even mad about it. It was just one of my favorite albums because it just made me like crack up laughing. It made me. I'm looking forward. Let me just deviate real quick, but I'm looking forward to her next album because Ari's been through a lot. Ari Lennox. We're talking about Ari Lennox now. I don't want to make anybody.
Oh,
I don't want anybody talking about, girl, did you hear what Jazz said about Ari Lennox has been through a lot since the last album. I'm looking forward to what that sound is going to be. But let me not get too deep into that. But yes, love it. Love it.
That is so funny. Okay, I forgot to do I'm gonna do Minnesota links before I get into like my petty bag. But so Minnesota links, I can't wait. You don't understand that, like, I cannot wait. Minnesota links, unfortunately, like there's no like, I feel like, okay, Simone is gone, Maya's not coming back, but like unfortunately Cheryl Reeve is still Cheryl Reeve. She's a good GM and like coach, and it's so aggravating. But so that's why I can't pick I have to pick a good album because Sylvia Fowles, and I don't know. So we don't know who is playing. They've been semi-quiet. Like they haven't been like, I don't know who's playing. So just going off their roster, I'm gonna go with Neo Saturn, because it's still a good album. And it's kind of the same with Chicago Red Stars. It's like, it's still a good album, and it's still like, they're gonna be fine, but they're still kind of going through this phase of like, who are they? Because Saturn's return is like when you're approaching like your 29th, 30th year, you kind of like go through this like life crisis, and you kind of figure out who you are, and like just like basically transformation, and you're really growing. And I think that's the point that they're at, but also the album is good and they're gonna be fine because Cheryl Reeve is good at her job. So it's aggravating.
I mean, I can't really argue that. I feel like
it's just like some people are gonna be fine. It's like aggravating because I don't want them to fail.
Right.
But it's just like, it's like if UConn has an off year, like, okay, cool.
I'm looking to see, like, they have what, 3 rookies. And like Navisha Collier is going into her 2nd year. So
She got the rookie of the year at number 6.
You know, it wasn't too shabby. She didn't have let's see, who did they have running point?
Oh, they were talking about how Lexi May, Odyssey might be back, and then Crystal Dangerfield.
Okay, that is what I thought. Because I was just like, okay, I knew Odyssey was gonna be out, but I don't know why I was like looking for Lexi. I was like, why is Lexi not on here? But she's here. I'm looking forward to seeing what Lexi Brown does this year. I'm really looking forward to seeing her. I think she is such a future star in the WNBA, and she's like, what, only on going into year 3 now? Like, to me, I'm just like, wow.
And then she got her in a trade, like, just, I don't know what she even traded, like what she gave up when she got Lexi. Like, what?
To me, they're one of those teams. I'm not mad at the in terms of the album. I'm not mad. I've probably listened to the album twice. That's why I'm like, not mad. Looking forward to seeing what becomes of. I feel like they're one of those teams that even though they have known names on the team, there's still maybe a few question marks. Like, they're gonna do well again because of Cheryl Reeve, because they have some vets, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah. It's like, we'll see, and then Cheryl Reeves will bring it to the playoffs, because I don't know why it bothers me. I need to figure that out, because naturally, I mean, I have a Maya Moore jersey, and like, I love Seal and Simone, but like, I don't know why I'm being so dramatic about this.
No, I think a lot of people feel the same way, though. A lot of people feel the same way. I'm being perfectly honest with you. Like, I'm not being a Cheryl Reeve hater, but at the same time, there's always been this talk about her, and I feel like she comes to. I'd rather not put certain things on older women, because sometimes it comes across as like that's a stereotype. So I'd rather not say what I really am thinking, but she definitely has a reputation. I'll leave it at that. She definitely has a reputation. There's no denying she's a good coach, but it's there are certain realities though too about her. The people have said about her, speculated about her for years now, and that's just the reality of it. But you don't win. Like, you don't. I feel like it's one of those things you aren't. Regardless of what people say, you can still be a good coach in the process, and there's no denying that about Cheryl Reeve. Okay, at least on the court. I mean, at least on the court, because nobody's perfect. I'll leave it at that.
Word. Okay. Now I'm feeling a little petty.
Of course. I knew it was coming.
But it's not the most fun one. Connecticut Sun, okay. Love and Compromise. Because all that drama in the off season was so like, but it's like the last 2 years really, like their ability to show who they value the most, and like who they're willing to put up with, right. And then who they're like, who leaves and they just like, they're gonna say what they gotta say about them. I think that is why I chose this album, because I mean, the album is not, I mean, they're gonna be good and fine. Okay. I mean, they have, okay, so I had this dream when Dewana Bonner was trying to figure out where she was going. She reached out to me and she asked me about the dream and what I thought, and I thought that was so funny, because I'm like, why would she ask me? Why would she ask me? But yeah.
And what did you tell her?
So I woke up before I was able to tell her, but I just remember being like, "Oh, don't get mad at me." But I was like, this was before all like the free agency thing. So this is like at the start when everybody's like, I don't know. I guess I don't know if she made it clear that she was leaving or something, or that she had interest in leaving. I don't know why. I don't remember why.
Okay.
I knew that she was at least talking about leaving. But like, I remember we was in this place in Decatur and staying, and I was like, ah, and then I woke up. Cause I'm that type of person to be like, I'll tell you, I'll be honest, but like, I'll say it like this.
Okay.
But yeah, this was before the Dream made all their
Okay.
fun moves. But yeah, like to me, that describes, and I mean, I've never actually covered them up close, so they could be a much like different organization than what it seems like. But that's what to me. And the album is more of more poppy R&B. So like there are hits and like there are like stars on Connecticut's team. But to the Love and Compromise part, I was just like, y'all showing yourself. Oh, by Mahalia. Love and Compromise by Mahalia. She's from London, or she's from the UK. I don't know if she's from London, but
what are you talking about? Yeah. You said which album of hers?
Love and Compromise. She has a few that are older, but this one came out last year, and yeah, she has hits, and she can write and she can sing a hit, but to me it wasn't like if we're talking the top 10, it was like 4, and I think the Connecticut Sun are gonna be good, but so at the top of the album, she was just like she played that Eartha Kitt skit that everyone plays is like compromised myself for a man, and I felt like all the players that got out were like, I'm gonna choose myself, and I think that's kind of like the theme of the album, because there's even one song with Ella Mai where she's just like I'm not taking this. So I think that is to me like these are all how I view things and not how they probably actually are. So let me just clarify.
Okay.
Because I may be a reporter, like I don't know a lot that goes on the inside. So
okay, I don't hate this one. I do not hate this one at all. I think I think Connecticut's not going to be too bad. I think they got to figure out maybe with to me some of the new talent that they have on the team. But other than that, I mean, you look at their squad and you're like, oh yeah, like I could possibly see them getting into the playoffs, no doubt. I definitely don't. But I think it's one of those things too. They feel like they've gotten over possibly the drama that they've had too. So I think that might help them go get a bit further than they had, done in. I mean, even with the drama they did, they got into the playoffs. But I think it's going to be interesting to see them come together chemistry wise.
And this was also, I may have thought of this one like post JJ opting out, but I also am. They have like a big four, like that's crazy. But also, I'm a huge fan of like everybody on, like Jasmine Thomas is like Jasmine Thomas is like literally like probably one of my favorite players right now. I just, oh my gosh, because I love a defensive point guard, and she's just like such a leader, and I'm just like, girl, you are so badass. Who else? Oh, of course, Alyssa Thomas too, but also DeWanna Bonner. I don't even understand how she does anything that she does, and so yeah, that's why I'm like, y'all got hits, y'all got stars.
That part. I mean, they probably average between those three right there. They probably average 7 or 8 years between the three of them. Because DeWanna Bonner and Brianna January,
forgot about that.
Like Brianna January running point, like they're gonna have. It's gonna be real cute. I think in order for them to obviously make a deep enough run, their bench is gonna have to come together. Because I mean, I feel like that's with any team. Obviously, that's pretty basic, but. So I'm kind of looking, anytime I look at a team and I think to myself, can you do well in the playoffs? It really comes down to the bench. And for me, I'm like, okay, I could possibly see it. I'm curious to see what their rookie Patrice Montpierre is gonna do. She's one of those that people talked about but didn't talk about. but should have been talking about. You know, I just feel like I keep forgetting what her route was, but I always thought to myself, I wish Dallas had picked her up personally. But you
Oh
know,
yeah, she was Baylor, Miami, and then she got drafted to.
because we picked up Bella from Princeton, Bella Allery.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally thought, oh, I would have loved to have picked up Patrice, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I hope Bella proves me wrong. But you know, we'll see. But yeah, so looking forward to seeing. I've always loved the Thomas show for Connecticut. Like I've just
They made the final was just so fun for me. It's so fun.
Oh my gosh. Like even seeing them in person, that's why I love attending WNBA games, because seeing them in person, it's like something completely different. Like when I first saw what's her name? What is I'm blanking and I know who I'm talking about. Asia Wilson. There we go. When I saw Asia Wilson for the first time play. Now mind you, the first time I've seen Asia Wilson play was at the 2017 Final Four. But when I saw her playing the WNBA, I don't know what it was. What was that? It literally was the following season. Yeah, it was her sophomore season. Yeah, should I call it sophomore? But it was her second year in the league. I saw her play, and I was just like, I don't know if she gotten bigger, stronger, faster. But man, that jumper is something nasty. She does it with such disrespect. I can appreciate it. So
another person I just love. I want to know because I've noticed like when, I mean, I went to the SEC tournament literally like right before everything shut down, and like the difference to me between that and the WBA, I don't know if it feels like. I mean, she probably definitely did get like bigger and stronger, but like I feel like you could get closer. Like you could see. I don't know if it's like the way the arena's set up or like.
Yeah.
But like I went to dream practice once, and Monique Billings, I was like, she's got to be the toughest person I ever saw in my life. like just seeing it up close is like literally amazing. So I wonder about that too, because even like college, like so I'm like, why am I sitting all the way up here? Like, let me be close. Let me hear what they have to say, which makes me excited about another team that we hadn't talked about yet. I can't wait to hear what they have to say. Can you guess who I'm talking about? I'm not gonna go to them yet about talking.
I hope it's Atlanta.
But first, we have to, because we did Sun. So first, we have to talk about the Wings, and I want to choose Mariba's "The Jungle Is the Only Way Out" because I think was it with Glory leaving that was like the last like shock person. So I think it's a new look, a new team. I feel like the Jungle is the only way out for like the whole league, really. But I think for Dallas, it's just like they got. I love it. They got all fresh faces now. Like everyone is like not has dealt with things that have happened in the past. Like everyone is like new or from a different place. So I think I don't know, that album is very like cathartic. Like I'm like listening to this, I feel better about all the terrible things that's happening all the time. But I think I don't know. It depends on where the management and like coach and like all what they do with it. But I think it's potential for like a good start because Alicia Gray was when it was in Dallas, right? Because she's still on the team, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Because this is this is your team.
This is the one team. This is the one album I have yet to listen to. So
I think you'll like it.
I will definitely check it out. So I can't say one way or the other as far as that goes. But if I had to pick an album, it would probably either be something by Khalees. And the reason I say would be
This would be great.
It would be something by Khalees because Khalees is oof. Khalees's albums are so indicative of like the trash going on around her.
This is true. Poor thing.
Exactly. Like you can hear her raging on these albums. Especially was it the first two, I want to say. And even though the thing about it is everybody low key loves Khalees, but I don't. There are just so many metaphors here. Everybody low key. Everybody low key loves Khalees. They want to see Khalees win, but they know now. Then, mind you, we're looking at this in retrospect, right? And I feel like that's where we're at with the Dallas Wings. Okay, in retrospect, we have heard Khalees talk about these dog men that they have had to deal with over the past, the dog men she's had to deal with, whether it's producers, whether it's the men she's been married to, they've been the bane of her existence at this point. That's why I say Khalees goes perfectly with the Dallas Wings, because if we're being honest, we have no clue. We've always known the potential has been there. Mm-hmm. But it makes you wonder when you look in perspective, in retrospect, if she hadn't been dealing with so much BS behind the scenes, how good she could have possibly have been, and how long she possibly would still be in this fight now, in terms of giving us classic albums. Now, I'm not mad that she's vegan and she has her own farm and all that stuff. I'm not knocking it. Do your thing, sis. But at the same time, I think we had high expectations for her, and we'll never quite know at this point, because
you remember when Azure got traded and her and Teresa and Liz were like on FaceTime, and they were like that to me, like, that's to me why I chose this, and I think why you chose that, why you chose Khalees, and this is so great. And then honestly, I think yours fits more because Jungle is on the way out. It could be like, depending on how you view it at the start of the album or the end of the album, like, have they gotten there yet, or are they just starting? Like, like the Jungle is on the way out could be like about a team that like has gone through it and now they're on the other side, or is it one team that's like at least in the process of figuring it out? So it's so funny.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to listen to the album to really be able to just speak on that. But and to clarify, when I talk about the dog men in the Dallas Wings life, I could or could not be talking about more than one person. So I'll leave it at that way, that there's no assumptions about who I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't know which album either. I want to say, oh gosh,
oh, yeah,
I'd say Kaleidoscope probably. But yeah, cool, yeah. So yeah,
So that was great. So my last one, this one was really hard because I am so excited about the Dream this year. Like, you know how many games I saw last year in person? Like almost all of them. I probably missed like only like a handful of games. Okay. So I saw everything.
Okay.
I saw everything. So I'm very excited for the Dream this year. But the album was hard to pick because I didn't go with an R&B album. I pretty much went with this off-the-wall album, but I'll tell you the reason why. It's J Hus. He's a rapper from the UK. I know it's not even an R&B album, but I'll tell you why. So it's called J Hus, called Big Conspiracy. The name doesn't have anything to do with it. On this album, can I curse?
Yes.
On this album, he talks so much shit. He has the confidence of like a man, basically, a man in the world. I mean, he's a black man, but like he still has the confidence of a man. And that's how I feel going into the season. That's how I feel my new favorite players, Kennedy Carter and Courtney Williams, will have going into the season. I am so excited to see them play. And that album is really good. And what I like about the album is it has the diaspora. Like Coffee is on that album, and I just think she's awesome. And like there's Perna Boy, there's like songs that mix like the hip hop and R&B and whatever. And like I feel like there's some things, you know, sometimes he says too much. And I know my girls could do that too. But but it's just so like when I listen to it, like I think about like I am so excited. And it kind of, this one is very abstract because it's not R&B, but I'm just like, I am so excited to watch them play. Like I know Nikki Collins is excited to watch them play, but I'm so excited to watch them.
No, I feel you.
Like, but this one is like it matches the energy and the excitement I think they have. Like I've interviewed Courtney once, and I'm just like, I need the confidence to say how I feel like this.
That's a
so
word
like
right there. That's a word right there.
Yes, so like I'm really excited. We got Strick. I literally can't believe what they made happen. Glory. I saw Glory practices. I was like, oh my gosh, so Glory's playing. Like, I'm just excited.
The athleticism of this team is going to remind, I think, a few people of Connecticut. I think they're going to look very similar. I'm curious in terms of, I don't think spacing is going to be an issue, but I definitely am looking forward to watching this team play. I think with so many new players, this CBA really, did a fool on us. So I'm looking forward to seeing all these new players on their new teams. I'm looking forward to seeing Kalani Brown, which is still the player that I feel like got away from the Dallas Wings in that draft for some reason. I think Dallas Wings fans were really hoping that we would have picked her up.
I thought she was going there too.
I think we really thought we were going to get a trade with her.
Yes, that's what it was. I was like, I don't know why I thought that.
Yes, I think a lot of people thought that it was going to be some trade involving her, Liz Cambage, and like maybe another, pick or two, something. I thought it was going to be something similar to that. And it didn't happen. I was like, yikes. You said what?
I'm actually curious about what you think. Hold on, I got to plug my computer in. How should I say this? I appreciate the fact that like a player like Tiffany is like able to get rest, but especially like after she literally played through injuries the entire season last season, and it just sucked because it was like this just sucks to have to do that during that season. Right. But I wonder what you think. I guess this is like the season to sit out, really. Like, but I wonder what you think the team, like, how big of an impact is that really gonna have in terms of there's already all these new players anyway, so like. I wonder what impact do you think that has on like the floor?
I think
the dream floor.
Excuse me. I'm looking at the roster and I'm thinking to myself that they're likely going to get, mind you, I think it's good for teams when they have players like Tip and Montgomery out, because when you consider, again, when we were talking about earlier, the bench play, you're able to get these players who normally probably wouldn't get as much playing time. They're now able to get more PT, quite possibly. I mean, in theory, they're able to get more playing time and allow them to step up. Because, I mean, to me, I'm not going to lie. Yes, everybody's trying to win a championship this year. But at the same time, I'm trying to develop my players. As a coach, I think my focus too is like, how do I develop my players? And I think this is going to be an interesting season to see how these coaches are able, because I think Nikki Collins is one of the best out there. So I think she's going to do really great with this team. When you consider how youthful they are, I can't help but to, like, I really wish they had their own reality show. Like, and it's crazy because if the WNBA was truly really trying to make a coin, they would get on a Courtney Williams level, make it like exclusive, fans only, you know, only fans type of thing, make it exclusive on League Pass, and it would pay to see that. But neither here nor there. But it's going to be interesting to see more players getting playing time compared to probably if you had those other two who were playing. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, Chinny Carter, there's going to be so many. Chinny Carter, there's going to be so many question marks around her. I think people are expecting a lot from her this upcoming season. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that Monique Billings and Kalani Brown, something tells me that they're going to end up like, because I mean, when you have veteran players, you're expecting them to do well, but I think those two right there are going to be those players where it's like, oh, okay, you have to remind the girls real quick, because Monique got to remind people, I think, every now and then, I'm not just a face. Like, don't get it twisted.
Yes, that's so true. Like, even last year, like, they had like a bunch of quiet moments. Yes. Where like players would hit like the 2,000 point mark or whatever, but Monique, like watching her improve, especially like defensively, like her rebounding like is insane, but like improving defensively, I'm like in like her floor like awareness, she definitely improved so much last year. But it was like hard to like, it was very overwhelming to like discuss anything because it was just like I kept losing. But her, like, she got so much better, like because I just remember like if like she had to like if they had to switch like shoot like early in the season, like that person would get behind her and like score like a layup or whatever. But like over the season, like she definitely like got so much better on defense. Right. And like I don't know, I think she's awesome. But you're right though. I think people like don't talk about her as much. So
yeah, I think she has room. She has room this season. I was going to say though that if I had to give this team, if they're going to be as good as I think they have the potential to be, I would definitely go with often slept on rapper, which I know we were only doing R&B, but
it's Atlanta, so it's fine.
Exactly, right? I'm like, it's Atlanta, like, you know. Even because I was like, don't do an Atlanta rapper that's too cliche. Besides, you don't know the Atlanta rap scene like that, so don't pick an Atlanta rapper at all. To be fair, I was like, no, that's no, you can't do that. I gotta show respect. But often slept on rapper Little Sims, great album.
Yes, this is so okay. Sorry, I love her. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I just heard that album was brilliant, and no one says enough about it. Although I will say,
this is true.
She got high marks in terms of reviews and stuff like that. She got high marks. So to be fair, real recognize real, but like she does not get enough credit. At least here, I mean, she's always going to be on like that. What I feel like is like the what is it called? The festival circuit. I feel like she's always going to be on that. But at the same time, she doesn't get that mainstream love. And I'm like, and it annoys me because I'm like, it's so weird. The only rappers we ever hear about are Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, and like Rhapsody. And people half the time are mentioning Rhapsody because of the other two in Respectability Politics, which is trash.
Yep.
So I'm just like, in the meantime, yes, to me, all of them are queens as far as I'm concerned. And I often feel like Lil Sims does not get the credit. She talks her ish, and I love it. And like her production is always on point. And I'm like, ESPN, y'all need to get it together and start putting her stuff in y'all. Like, whoever the music director is, I'm gonna need y'all to step it up. Step it up.
Her flow.
Oh my gosh.
You know, that's how I hope Atlanta offense flows this year. I have big dreams, and we're starting from the bottom, and I'm so excited. But you know, you might like this show. I haven't watched all of it. I watched one episode, Michaela Cole's show on HBO. She featured in the first episode Tierra Whack and Little Sims. So just, it's like, it's called I Want to Destroy You. So
Yes.
This is beautiful. This collaboration,
Yes.
I loved it.
You know, at the end of the day, follow us if y'all want to check out more artists. Like, I'm always putting out artists out there. I'm always letting people know about who I'm listening to. But again, Felicia, thank you for coming on today and, you know, dishing out your WNBA albums. And I look forward to seeing if this changes by the end of the season. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have you back on at the end of the season.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be so great. Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me for your very successful, famous show. So thank you.
Thank you, girl. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing how this season goes, if we even get to finish it.